Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Professor's Picks. We missed last week, but we are here once again alongside, of course, the professor himself, Mr. Ken Golden from the
Yes.
Wicked Edge. What's going on, my friend?
Oh, it's a lot to go through. Got 2 weeks worth of stuff.
Yeah, backup, right? So now you got to get caught up on
Yeah,
some stuff that's coming
you
in.
know, and it's possible I'm going to skip over some things which are on the website because they were here last week. We don't have enough quantity to really go into it, and also we just got a big restock in from Italy. So a lot of old classic Italian prog stuff
Wow.
back
Okay.
in stock that we haven't had for a while. So go to the web. Besides the stuff we're going to talk about, go to the website, poke around. You'll find some cool stuff. So yeah,
As always, when I'm talking to you and doing this, I want to get lasercd.com up while I'm so I can kind of look as you're talking about it. So I
oh
got it up.
sure.
I'm ready to go.
All right, let's get right into it. Let's see. Hopefully, Prezzi's working okay. There we go.
All right.
Believe it or not, a new album from Alphataurus,
Yeah.
2084 Viaggio nel Nulla. So Alphataurus was the great one and done Italian band. Original album came out, I'm guessing it was 1973, if I remember,
Oh, yeah. I think you're
right
correct.
around that.
Yep.
Was really one of the great ones. I think there was some other work that came out later on. This is a reformed version of the band, and I'm not going to tell you that it sounds like the old Alphataurus, but this is like that Semiramis album that came out earlier. It's really good Italian prog rock. It's got that classic sound, and yeah, it's a conceptual piece, long tracks. It, I never have any expectations of these albums, especially like the Semiramis and this one. They really surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah, our
Very,
writer for the webzine, Jose, he gave it a really good review on the website.
yeah, it's good, yeah. So I I recommend it. I definitely recommend it. Next one, I need your help on. Customers asked us to bring this in,
Yeah,
and I've listened to a bit of it. It's I would call it progressive death metal, Ancients, Beyond the Reach of the Sun. I think you reviewed it, didn't you?
I did. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like clean vocals and a lot of death vocals, right?
It's like that half and half. I would say, musically it's not identical, but if you liked what Opeth was doing on like Ghost Reveries, Watershed, that time frame mixed with like a little bit of Between the Buried and Me, it's very technical, progressive arrangements, the melodic vocals, the growling vocals. It's really, really well done. Really well done.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, and
highly
it's been
recommend.
selling. Some customers asked if we were going to carry it, and I thought, "Well, sure,
Yeah, all
every
three of
once in
their
a while,
albums are great. All three of
yeah,
their
every
albums.
once in a while we'll bring in like some death metal thing, or it's not normally what we do, but we have it on occasion, especially the more progressive oriented stuff.
Yeah.
Next one, this is a Frontiers release, Ares Descendant from the Ashes of Deceit. Uh, and it's the main guy is Jonah Weingarten. He's the keyboard player from Pyramids. And it has that kind of power metal cover. It's, from what I've heard of it, it's more melodic metal, got maybe touches of AOR, very keyboard driven, but there's plenty of guitar on it. And yeah, very, very melodic, very good singer. I don't know the singer. I should know the singer, I guess, but I didn't take notes on it. Sorry. And yeah, it's a Frontiers release. All right. So are you ready for the big surprise of the week?
Sure.
Because I'm doing the alphabet, right? So
Yep.
this is going to shock you. Banco.
Wow.
What this is, and look, I've been around the block a few times, especially with Italian prog. This is something I never knew existed, and this is the first time it's on CD or vinyl. It is a soundtrack an instrumental soundtrack that Banco did to a movie called Greggio Pericoloso in 1981. And it's a 1981 version of Banco, meaning it's not Io sono nato libero, you know, but you can tell it's Banco. And a lot of keyboard work, a lot of synthesizer work. Um, it's a soundtrack. So so they're short pieces, they're like 3 minute pieces, but it works. and it was shockingly good.
I would say probably by default, it's better than any of the regular Banco studio albums from that time period.
Oh, without question. I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
I never knew this existed. I've never heard of it.
I don't I was talking to Feigenbaum about it, and we were both dumbfounded. I
So it was a
never.
TV. It was a TV series.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it's a TV
It was a
series.
TV soundtrack. It's it's good. It's good.
Wow.
Like I said, it's not the early 70s sound. It's a more modern 80s sound, but it's 1981. It's good. It's Banco.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
surprised, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I never knew it. Never knew it existed. All right, next thing. Dead Heroes Club, called Heroes. Dead Heroes Club, very, very good Irish neo-prog band, very influenced by Marillion, like Fish era Marillion. The singer passed away. They started recording this years ago, and the singer passed away, I believe, 2021. And the album's basically about him, and that he's the hero in effect. And I guess I should have written his name down. And I believe that they're giving a portion of the funds that they receive to like
Gotcha.
cancer research or something like that. But yeah, we hadn't I hadn't heard of this band in many many years, and it had been many years since they had done an album. And back in the day when they were putting out records, we sold a ton of them. So this was a nice surprise. Yeah, if you like that Fish era Marillion, it's got that sound. You'll dig it. All right, the next one. I'm not calling this next one my album of the year only because it's an archival release. So I'm going to call it my archival album of the year. This is Elephant Nine with Terry Ripdahl, Catching Fire. Uh, Elephant Nine is an organ-based trio from Norway. Keyboardist is Stale Storloken. And Terry J. Ripdahl, he needs no introduction. He's one of the greatest guitarists of all time. And this is a concert recording from 2017. And so Elephant Nine, they kind of have a sound. It's an organ-based power trio. It has a sound that kind of reminds me of like Tony Williams' Lifetime. And they recorded two albums some years ago with Rain of Fisk from
That's
Lambert.
exactly. Yeah, I've heard those. Those are pretty smoking.
Those are smoking albums. So this is a live show, and they have Terry Ripdahl, and they're doing some of that material. And Storloken actually he's played on at least two of Terry Ripdahl's uh, solo albums, and studio albums. And the best way I can describe him, he's playing as like a cross between like Larry Young and Keith Emerson. And this synthesizer, this he does use synths and stuff, but it's very organ based, and the whole trio is just stupidly great. And with Ripdahl on guitar, it sounds fucking insane. Like if you like jazz rock, you have to have this album. So we have it on CD and we have it on vinyl.
So I guess I have to have it. So put one aside for me.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really awesome. So I'm a Ripdahl fan. I'm a Terry Ripdahl
Oh,
fan.
I,
So,
I love them. Yeah.
yeah, and somebody will, well, I'm sure somebody's going to pipe in and say it's not Terry Ripdahl. It's Terge or Terrier.
I always say Terrier, but I don't know.
And you're probably maybe
I
right.
don't know. I'm probably wrong because I never pronounce any of these things
I
correct.
I'm from Queens. I call him Terry. I call him Terry Ripdahl. All right, next one. This was also a nice surprise. Flame Drop, Flow, Swiss band. It's actually two guys, all instrumental. It was called jazz rock. I don't really hear it that way. To me, this is a prog rock album. If somebody wants to call it jazz rock, okay. But very keyboard driven, but with some really ripping guitars. So there's a full band there, but basically it's the two main guys, and really really nice. So I recommend it. Next one, Frost Island Live. So we previously sold this a while back as a 2 CD Blu-ray went out of print very quickly. They've now reissued it as a 2 CD DVD version. And I asked, why did you do that? And I was told, A, it's cheaper, and B, a lot of people don't have Blu-ray players. So
Believe it or not, I'm surprised, but yeah, that's
yeah, so yeah, one of my customers was talking to a longtime customer. I was trying to explain to him what a Blu-ray is. He didn't understand the difference between a Blu-ray and a DVD, other than the fact that he can't play them because I had to explain.
huge difference, folks. Huge difference.
Yes, and picture quality, huge difference.
Ah,
So here it is. So if you're one of those guys that doesn't have a Blu-ray, here's the 2 CD DVD version. Next, the new Frost studio album. There's two different versions. There's a two CD version in a jewel case, and there's a 2 CD version what they call pocket pack digisleeve, and that the jewel case is here. The pocket pack we sold out of, and we have more in transit from Germany and should be here by the time this airs. If not, it'll certainly be here on Monday. But Frost is a band. Jem Godfrey, interesting band. I I think very underrated in terms of at least whenever they put out something new, we can't keep it in stock.
yeah. Good, they're
So
good band. Good band.
next one, Frozen Crown, War Hearts. Uh, Female-led band, female singer, I believe. I think even female guitarist. I think there's two or three women in the band. And they just played at Prog Power in Atlanta and apparently blew up the place. So, you know, not my thing, but
Cool
I
cover.
heard they went over great. Grand Magus, Sunraven. Grand Magus, Swedish power metal, I guess you call them. They have some doom elements to their sound.
Yeah, they were early on were pretty much a doom band, and they're more kind of like a traditional metal, power metal with little bits of doom and stoner. Yeah, great band, really good, solid band.
Okay. Todd Michael Hall. So Todd Michael Hall, this is called Off the Rails. This is the singer from Riot. I call it Riot 5, right? It's, yeah. So I mean, Riot, whatever. And this is with Pete's buddy Kurt Vanderhoof.
Yep,
So have you heard this one?
I have not. I have not.
So great singer. Not my thing. More of a this to me. What I heard of it was more of like a hard rock sound. Sort of a straight ahead hard rock sound. And
He's a
good.
great singer.
Yeah. So there it is. And if I was watching the video today, and there was Kurt there, and all his baldness. And, yeah.
My man.
Iotun Kinship. Uh, you know these guys? Danish power metal, progressive power metal, some death vocals that kind of compared to Mercenary and Borknagar.
Okay.
Yeah, we sold that previous one. So this is actually a restock. I didn't separate out any restocks. IQ The Weekender, the 4 CD live set. So as soon as we get it in, it sells out, and we just keep restocking it. So, Jane Live 88. My understanding, this was something that was released on vinyl back in, I guess, 88, very limited, only like 300 copies pressed. And this is the first time that it's on CD. You a Jane fan?
I like the 70s stuff quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, there was a period when they started listening to a lot of Pink Floyd where I thought that they were pretty cool. When the earliest stuff I didn't really care for that much.
The earlier stuff is a little more hard rock, right? But
Hard
which
rock.
it's kind of like Deep Purple-y. I see. I like that. So I like it.
Yeah, I know, but I like Fire, Water, Earth, and Air.
That's a great album.
Yeah, was it Heaven and Hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great album. But yeah, they weren't liking that. They went through that Pink Floyd phase. It's good. So here's an 88 one. Ah, Jumbo live in Korima
Wow.
2023. This is a CD DVD. So this is them doing Vietate al Minori. Uh, this is a reformed version of Jumbo. I guess I guess that's the thing to do.
Yeah,
So
right. I was gonna say, I saw that name. I was like, wow, it's a
yeah,
blast from the past.
yeah, CD, DVD. Next, this is weird. This is like a gray area thing, but it's going through legitimate distribution, Sony. So like this gray area stuff, it's kind of hard to tell, what's legal, what's not legal. It's going through a legitimate distributor. I'm calling it legal. This is Kansas Live on Air. It's a two CD set from 1980. One show is from Chicago and the other show is from New York.
So 1980, what's that? An Audio Visions tour, I guess,
I'm not sure.
or Monolith tour, one or the other. Yeah,
I think it wasn't Monolith 78 or maybe
yeah, or
79.
79, something like that. Yeah, so it might be Audio Visions actually.
Okay, so there you go. What's next? This is Kings of Mercia, Battle Scars. This is uh, this is the second album from Kings of Mercia. Jim Matheos, he folded Fate's Warning and focusing on this. Vocalist is Steve Overland, who's from the British band FM. Great, great singer. Joey Vera from Fate's Warning on bass, and Eric's buddy Simon Phillips on drums. And it's to my ears more like melodic hard rock.
Melodic rock. Yeah, yeah. The first
Yeah,
album was very good, I thought.
yeah, and it did very well for us. And this new one, Battle Scars, I'm sure it's already going. And I guess this is just where Matthias wanted it, where Jim wanted to go with his music.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Overland, very very good vocalist.
Oh, he's really good. Yeah, he's really good.
Next thing, Kite Parade, Disparity. I believe this is the third album. It's basically a guy named Andy Foster. He's kind of like a multi-instrumentalist, but there are other people on here. It's neo-prog. It has some pop elements to it and kind of catchy. This is, I think, the third album. We sold a lot of the first two, so and this one's shooting out the door. So people are excited about
Yeah, the first one was solid. I
it. Yeah,
liked it.
there you go. There's a blast from the past, Leviathan, Stories of Imperceptible Light. Uh, they are, well, they were back in the day one of the great American prog metal bands. Still going. They're based out of Colorado, and it's very much guitar driven prog metal. Okay, next thing, Nautilus. When time is just a word. They are a
Well, that cover was
German.
great.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I got to say something, Pete, because I'm mentioning this because I'm working on an album for release for next year with a new band, and I'm seeing a lot of this AI generated art, and I don't know from the looks of this. This to me looks like AI art, and I got to say, on a certain level, it bothers me that there isn't an artist picking up a brush and whatever. But at the same time, some of the AI art is really nice.
Some of it's really good. Yeah, some of it looks like AI. It just looks
Yeah, I
too
feel
computer.
guilty. I,
Yeah.
I feel guilty, and like yeah, so like this. I don't even want to mention the name of this band that I'm working on, and they're sending me concepts, and I think a lot of it's like AI generated, and I'm like, holy shit, that's really good. That's really whoa. Oh, that one not so good, but it's like, yeah, it's, really cool. Some of it's really cool. So this is German Prague. Um, it's it's really good. It's got like a Pink Floyd element to it, so like a symphonic element to it. Um, it's yeah, very kind of synth driven. It's good stuff. Very good, very very good. They have a number of albums, so I like it a lot. Next thing, this is a great one. You ever hear Nippy Nyren Quartet? I never did. I never did. So this is on the same label that did that Moose Loose archival thing, and it's even sort of designed the same way. So Nippy Nyren is he is a Norwegian guitarist. Uh, this is a live recording, and a previously unavailable live recording from 1976 from the Kongsberg Jazz Festival. And and he's a very, very tasty player, kind of like a Yanni Schaefer,
Okay.
um, and along those lines, Yuka Tolonen. Guy who really shines on this record is the keyboard player Hakan Graf, and Hakan was the keyboard player in Rufus, and also remember the Blowout album, that great
Yeah.
Blowout album. Yeah, and man, he's playing some. I guess it's like a mini moog. He's playing some synth stuff on here. It's just killer. So between the two of them, it's this was a really nice surprise. Really, really good, and it would have been my archival album of the year were it not for the Elephant Nine. So, all right, next.
And we still have 2 months to go.
Yeah, actually, well, I'm going to tell you, I won't name them, but there are two albums which will be here in November. Actually, one of them is going to be here next week. There are two albums which are, for me, album of the year candidates. Obviously, I've heard them. So, and I think that they're, for prog fans, I think they're going to lose their minds over them. That's just me. We'll see. We'll see. Are we gonna do a roundup like in December or something like that? Like a proxy? Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. Raven said, Polar Human Circle. Raven said, contemporary prog from Italy, very much influenced by Marillion to my ears again. They reference funny in the bio, they're referencing like Queensryche. I'm not hearing Queensryche, but maybe somebody else will. I don't know. But again, it's that very contemporary prog thing. Uh, Samurai of Prague featuring Marco Grieco, the Time Machine. And so the Samurai of Prague is basically two guys, Kimo Porsti and Marco Bernard, two Finnish musicians, drummer, bass player, and they bring in a ton of ringers. And so there's a ton of people playing on this album. And Marco Grieco is the main guy, concept album about the time machine. And they keep, basically the label was putting out these different releases and under different names. And I said, well, I said to Kimo, the man behind the label, I said, Kimo, you and Marco are playing on these albums. And when we call it the Samurai of Prague, we sell this. When you call it something else, we sell this. Since you're playing on all this, why don't you just call it the Samurai of Prague? And we do. And then, but, they're all kind of, they all have a different flavor to them because like Marco Grieco, he's the main guy. I should know again. I'm faulty in my research what band he was in or something, but yeah, but it's another one of these like all-star sessions that the Samurai of Prague thing is, and there's a built-in audience for this stuff.
It's like they put out like 2 albums a year, it seems, at least.
At least maybe three. I mean,
Yeah.
it's constantly so. I brought in a good quantity of this next one because we talked about it extensively recently, and it had been out of print for quite a while. Semiramis, Dedicato a Fraz, one of the great Italian prog albums, and yeah, had not. What a cover! Isn't that a cover, man? And
Great
yeah,
album. Great.
that was in our last Italian prog roundup,
Yep.
and I think maybe a little controversial this album, and it had been out of print on CD for a while. So there's a new jewel case version. It's back in the jewel case, not the mini LP sleeve, and so yeah, it's one of the all-time greats. So why not make it available? Next thing, I think this is a great one. New band from Poland, Sigmundus Illusions. Very over-the-top packaging. Comes in a CD media book, and there's also a 2 LP vinyl. I guess kind of bombastic, symphonic prog. It's the best way. Look at that cover. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's they're Polish. You might compare them to Riverside. That's the obvious comparison. Maybe there's a little bit of that. Riverside's guitar player plays on one track on the album. So, if you wanted to call them along the lines of Riverside, I wouldn't fight you too much, but maybe a little bit, they're more their own thing. So, but I think the fallback whenever there's a new Polish band, you compare them to Riverside.
Because there's not a lot of them, right? Especially playing that kind of music. So yeah.
Yeah. Next one, band that I think doesn't get enough attention, at least from the prog guys. Swallow the Sun,
Hmm.
Shining. Very, very good Finnish, I believe, right?
Finish up.
Finnish, Finnish doom metal. I call them doom metal.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't listened to their last couple, but I know their first couple albums I was pretty into. It's like this weird mix of like doom, death, and gothic kind of. Yeah,
Yeah,
good band.
that's what. Devin Townsend, Power Nerd. There are two versions, two digital versions that we have at the moment. There's a CD, there's a two CD digipack. There is an art book version. Our initial supply came and went, and we have more, which could be on the website when you watch this video. If not, figure Monday. We have a nice supply of the art book. So, but for the moment, as we're recording this, I just have the CD, the two CD jewel case. I'm sorry, the CD and the two CD. Did,
Have you gotten any feedback on this one? I haven't heard it. I haven't heard his last couple. I mean, he puts out so much material. It's kind of hard to keep up with this guy.
yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. So, but I always say, we sell a ton of Devin's work, and his fans, the most polite and the nicest fans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's pretty popular, in this style of music. And he's kept this fan base pretty happy for just no matter what direction he
oh
goes
yeah,
in, they love it, right? So
they're invested. Hey,
yeah,
remember? I don't know if you remember. I had those $300 box sets that I sold out of. We went through 100 copies of them in no time, and they were like this very abstract, weird music, and people were just like thrilled to get it. I think I don't know for certain, but I think behind next to Dream Theater, I think they're the highest selling band, the best selling
and
band.
Inside Out.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. All right, next. Tubular World. This is Rob Reed from Magenta. Rob has this peculiar fascination with Mike Oldfield. So so Rob has like a solo apart from Magenta. He puts out these solo albums, which are very much musically influenced by Mike Oldfield. So this is a re-recording of Hergest Ridge, which was Oldfield's second album, and with this very, very large cast of musicians. So they're calling it the 50th anniversary edition. Instrumental symphonic prog. Tungsten, the Grand Inferno. So this is Anders Johansson from Hammerfall. And he was one of the Johansson brothers, right?
No. Oh yeah,
No?
Anders. Yes, yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's a drummer.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And so he's on drums. His two sons are in the band. And then Michael Anderson from Cloudscape is on vocals.
Wow.
And, yeah. And the last CD for the week, another archival release, Vanessa live at Hovercoden, 1976. This is a perfect quality. I think it was a radio broadcast. I'm not sure.
Didn't I order that from you? I think I did.
Yes, you did. Yes. So this was an unreleased live recording from 1976. Vanessa's kind of an interesting band. Their first album was on the Compendium label, a short-lived label, and then they did another one called City Lips, I think, and that one goes for a lot of money. And I believe we have it on CD. Anyway, this is an unreleased live recording. I guess the best way to sum up Vanessa, jazz rock, you know, maybe with like an experimental side. They're a very interesting band. All right, let me run through the vinyl very quick because this is a marathon. A repress of All Traps on Earth, A Drop of Light. This is a new 2 LP white vinyl version. So All Traps on Earth is basically the second coming of Angligard. It's Johan Brand, the bass player from Angligard, and he brought in some of the other guys from Angligard and some new people, and he made an album that, well, kind of sounds a lot like Angligard.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's pretty great. So it's been out for quite a while, but it had been out of print for a while as well. So it's a new pressing of it. Okay, we got the Banco on vinyl. We have the Elephant Nine with Terry Ripdahl, Ripdahl, Catching Fire on 2 LP vinyl. Eloy Raw. This is like the Reformation album. We had the CD some months ago. Now they've done it on color vinyl. Freedom at Last. British band, guys from Procol Harum.
Yep.
And this
Good
was
album.
recently released on the BYG label. And this is done from the original masters. Kind of what, how do we call it? Blues rock?
Bluesy hard rock, yeah. Yeah, good album. Good
Yeah.
band.
Uh, the new white vinyl version of IQ, The Road of Bones, 3 LP. If you were smarter than me and saved the black vinyl version that I used to sell, you're a rich guy because that's going for like $350. I mean, and I was dumb. I didn't save one. But you know what? I made sure to save one of these. So
There you
they've
go.
repressed it on white vinyl. Omega Sky Rover colored vinyl, the Hungarian prog hard rock band. The Sick Mundus album that I mentioned, Polish band. Devin Townsend, we got it on white vinyl. We have it on limited dark green vinyl, and we have it on black vinyl. And yeah, and that's what I got. That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff. Some really interesting things there, right?
Yeah. And
So, of course, we will have the entire list pinned down in the comments below for those of you who'd like to, copy and paste, because who's going to remember all these titles?
that's it really, yeah. I mean, it was 2 weeks worth of stuff, but stuff just kept coming in. I literally was adding stuff this morning.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is everything's on the main page because I'm looking at it right here. So
Yeah.
it should, once you get on the website on lasercd.com, you should be able to find all this stuff
Yeah.
pretty quick.
Also, like I said, poke around like in the new
Yeah.
arrivals link at the top of the page. You'll see like all those Italian albums we restocked, stuff like Duello Madre, Finisterre, La Machera de Serra, there's all kinds of, Hero, there's all kinds of stuff up there. And even some vinyl as well. So it's worth a
Cool.
peek.
How's the pre-orders for the Dream Theater stuff going?
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't get to talk about this. So it was insane. I mean,
Really?
I mean, I'm going to tell you that you remember that IBM commercial where the company launches a website and the people are sitting around the computer and they're waiting for the orders to come in and all of a sudden it looks like like a slot machine.
Yep.
It was like that Friday. We we had that Friday, just Friday, we had over 400 orders that day.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Is that like a record?
Oh yeah, the previous record was that Devin Townsend Bubbles, that whatever that weird that box set thing. That day was that day I did like a month's worth of business in one day. Uh, well, 300 bucks a pop, and then there were all these other versions. There was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of vinyl and stuff. That was insanity. So yeah, this was I don't. And then the orders kept coming over that weekend. So my pre-orders for Dream Theater, I mean, we print them out, literally print them out. It's like it's it's ridiculous.
I think it's safe to say that with Portnoy returning to Dream Theater, all these dormant Dream Theater fans who have not paid much attention over the last decade are now back.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true.
Yeah.
People should also be aware, there was a box set. You won't see it on the website because the box set is gone already. Some of the colors of vinyl is already gone. I think we had a pearlescent blue. I think that's gone already. Yeah, I mean, I assume maybe it's February 7th, I think. So maybe they'll press some more. I don't know. Come up with a
It
different
might be
color.
smart. It might be smart.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. So the demand, and people were like getting angry. I was getting I was getting phone calls. I had some guy call me at midnight. It's like, yeah, well, when somebody calls at midnight, you think somebody died. I mean, well,
What reason are they calling you at midnight for?
he didn't get an order confirmation.
Oh.
It was very important. He had to make sure that that he was getting it. And meanwhile, it was probably in his spam folder or something like that. I had to like look. I'm like, why are you calling me at midnight? And then you call them out on it, and they're like, oh,
Yeah, exactly. He's probably watching this right now. Goes, oh shit, that was me.
yeah, probably.
Why did I think of that? I thought most people stay up all hours of the night, right?
Uh, you know, years and years ago, like back when I used to do the mail order catalogs, I used to get crazy. I never forget. I had a guy call me from Mexico. He was drunk off his ass. Called me at 2 o'clock in the morning. Is this the Laser's Edge? I'd like to place an order. I said. He woke me up. I said, "It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, can I place an order?"
It's like, no, call back tomorrow. Click.
Yeah. I was like,
Uh,
That's true.
I guess
That's
my
true.
question, why are you answering the phone at that hour?
He's like, yeah, yeah. You know, other people are saying, "Why are you publishing your phone number?"
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but we do.
yeah.
So,
All right.
yeah,
So, everybody watching, you have lots of stuff here that sounds like it's highly recommended by the man himself. So, yeah, get this stuff before it's gone, and there'll be more next week, surely. So,
for
till
sure.
this is on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together,
All the
all the
time.
damn time. Like I said, link to lasercd.com and the entire list will be down in the comments below. And before you leave, please hit that like button. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time here on the channel. Coming up tomorrow, we got Jamie Laszlo and the review crew starring me this time around. I don't generally do the review crew show, but I will be this week. I'll be on that. That'll be tomorrow night. We've got Grant Arthur and myself will be ranking the albums of the Yardbirds on Sunday. And then also on Sunday, we're doing another episode of our What Is It series. And we'll be talking about the Alan Parsons Project. What the hell kind of music is it that they play? We're going to try and figure it out. That's all coming up on Sunday. So till then, for Ken Golden, I'm Pete Pardo. Enjoy your weekend. Happy shopping. Buy lots.
Why often?
There you go. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.